Great. Hi. Good afternoon. Hi. It's a truly an honor and pleasure to be with you this afternoon. My name is Anni Lai. I am with Huawei Technologies. For those of you who don't know who Huawei is, here is a very brief description of who Huawei is. Huawei, we are ICT service and technology providers serving carrier customers. And I'm from the Carrier Cloud Group, and our mission for Carrier Cloud Group is to innovate and develop the best cloud computing technologies and services to enable our carrier friends to serve and provide the best ICT services for their customers. Okay, so today I have a very fun topic. I'm going to talk about monetizing the cloud for carriers, how to make money from cloud computing. So here, first let's talk about the carriers, the state of the carriers today. You guys are faced with a lot of challenges. First, you have revenue situation, revenue problems. It is a global problem that most of the carriers are experiencing decline revenues. And also, your customers are getting more and more demanding and impatient because there are a lot of options there. And thirdly, that's the most important one. Your competitive landscape is changing. You are no longer just competing with other carriers. You are also competing against OTT guys and also some of the IT service providers. So the market is getting more and more competitive. So carriers realize that they have to do something about the situation. Otherwise, they will run into the risk of being an obsolete vendor. And this is where cloud computing come in. Cloud computing can help you innovate, not just in technologies, but also in your business model. And now I would like to kind of discuss your customers, the customers that you are serving. So these are the SMBs, SOHOs, enterprises, government, healthcare, all various verticals. So because of the current economic situation, your customers are also being pushed to transform. Because if they don't transform, they will run into business situations and problems too. So again, cloud computing can help them solve a lot of problems, especially in the areas of cost cutting and also in the areas of integration, as well as CapEx or OpEx model. Here, I'd like to just go over some data points provided by Gartner, just to show you how how lively the cloud computing market is. As you can see, in 2010, the cloud computing market size is about only $11 billion. And then by 2015, Gartner actually forecasted that cloud computing is going to go up to about $44 billion. So you can see cloud computing is no longer just a science fiction or a hype. It is actually here to stay. And this is why you see a lot of big carrier companies. For example, last year, Verizon bought Terramark. Terramark is one of the leading cloud providers in US. And Verizon realized that they have to do something about cloud computing, otherwise they can't be competitive. And another example is the third largest telco in US, CenturyLink. It's a $33 billion company. And they make money from selling, CT services first, and then they realize that they have to get into entertainment, content, and social networking, and ICT services. And by using cloud computing. So they also acquire a cloud company called Savis. So for the companies, the carriers who acquisition is not in your roadmap, maybe you can consider working with Huawei, because this is what we do. We provide the cloud computing infrastructure and services for you to jumpstart your cloud business. So you don't have to spend a lot of money acquiring companies. And this is another data point to show you that the growth rate by region. As you can see, the white space market like the Latin America, Eastern Europe, Africa, Euro-Asian countries. Turkey is one of them. And you can see the growth rate is actually the fastest comparing to, US or Western Europe. And this is understandable because in these regions, you are serving mostly SMBs. And SMBs, that generally, they don't have their IT infrastructure. So they could definitely leverage cloud computing or public cloud services to help them do their IT. And this is the third data point is, this shows you the reasons that your customers, the SMBs, the SOHOs, the enterprises, why they would want to purchase, IT services from a cloud provider or carriers, hopefully. And the number one reason is it is a cost-cutting thing for them. Because remember earlier I said, your customers are going to have to meet the cost-cutting requirement. And so they would consider cloud computing or purchasing cloud services from a cloud provider or carriers because it can help them cut cost. And the number two reason is to help them reduce time to market. So in the old days, whenever a business needs to start a new application, they generally go to IT guys, and the IT guys will have to purchase, hardware, install software, and test the software, and then, and then transition the complete solution to the business people. And the turnaround time is too long. And with cloud computing, the turnaround time will be a lot faster because the infrastructure to run a service can be provisioned very quickly. And the third reason that your customers will consider buying cloud services from a service provider is, public clouds will generally offer more services that, SMB might not want to develop themselves. So this is an option for them to have access to a lot of applications that they don't have in-house. Okay, so now let's be practical. So how do you exactly make money from cloud computing? So these are the areas that you can make money from cloud computing. The first area is infrastructure as a service, and I'm sure you all have heard of Amazon.com. So there's a little bit of history about Amazon. So Amazon, they make their money from doing e-commerce. They did that very well. And about 2006, after dot-com bust, and they realized that they have to be smarter doing their IT, so they hire a lot of smart people from Silicon Valley to reorganize their IT by introducing virtualization in their IT. And the cost has been cut down ever since, and then they realized this is something really cool. Maybe they can sell. So they are the one who came up with the concept, infrastructure as a service. And it has been wildly successful. And now you see a lot of service providers are trying to offer similar kind of service. And Huawei, we have an infrastructure as a service framework for you to utilize if you want to be the Amazon of your region. And maybe this is some area that you can consider. And the next area is PaaS, platform as a service. This is not the area that you need to concern about right away. It's more for companies like Microsoft and Oracle, those big platform companies. They have this development platform to attract application developers to develop SaaS applications for their platform. So that's not the area that you want to consider. The third area is SaaS, software as a service. This is actually the fastest growing cloud computing service area. And just imagine if you're an SMB owner and you have 10 employees, and most likely you don't want to spend the money and energy building your own IT. So what you can do is you can purchase services like email or web server or maybe collaboration and CRM, that kind of stuff from a public cloud. So there's definitely a big opportunity in this area. And this is an example of how you price them, how you package them. And again, this is the key to success is how you organize all these ICT services that you combine IT and CT services, and then you bundle them and you price them well, and to attract customers. And again, this is not just a revenue, thing. It's also a customer retention and to reduce churn. Because once a customer purchases a few services from you, the likelihood of them moving out of your platform, out of your, your service is a lot smaller. And this is what Verizon is doing. And so basically, they offer a bunch of ICT services, ITCT services. And then at the end of the day, so customer will pick and choose whatever services they want. And at the end, they get one bill. And this is what a cloud platform can provide you, a single bill for your customers. And this is how you can compete against OTT or those IT providers, because they don't have access to your CT service, so they cannot integrate the billing. But if you want to, offer IT services on top of your existing CT services, what your customers get in the end is one bill, which is a lot better customer experience. And so this is the next step. Once you are so experienced selling, a few services in a catalog format, most of the carriers will have the ambition to become the big supermarket of ICT services, or I call it the Walmart. And the technical term, Gartner actually came up with this term called CSB, Cloud Service Brokerage. And with this model, you become the big supermarket of the ICT services, and the chance of your customers coming to your site every time when he or she needs a service will be a lot higher, because just like now, you don't go to a small milk store to buy milk. You go to a supermarket because when you go to a supermarket to buy milk, you can also get like bread, fruit, and other groceries as well. So this one-stop shopping experience is very attractive to customers. And according to Gartner, they predict that by 2015, at least 20% of the cloud services will be consumed via a form of cloud service, a brokerage. Yeah, okay. So here, he's trying to kick me out. So just a conclusion. So Huawei, we offer all the cloud infrastructure and services, and also on top of that, we have professional services. So again, our goal is to become our carrier customers' trusted advisor. And I know cloud computing can sound very intimidating to a lot of you guys, but we don't just have the technology and services. We also have business consulting and professional services to help you jumpstart your cloud business. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you. Sorry.